What's up, everybody? This is Sean with the New Old Heads with a quick note before we jump into what you're about to see. First off, shouts to Justin Hunte for being on the show. It was something that came about organically. We didn't plan it, but we're happy that when he was in town, we were able to sit down, meet with him, and we hope that we can do a bunch of cool stuff in the future as well. Second note, I up. With this being the first time we've had a guest in a while, I forgot to adjust the gate on Jay Moore's mic. So with that being said, sometimes when Justin talks, his voice was bleeding into Jay Moore's mic, creating this weird delay effect. I was able to fix some of it, but not all of it. It's there. You're not going crazy. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Most people probably won't care, but for me as an audiophile, it drove me a little bit crazy. So I wanted to at least create that disclaimer for you and let you guys know we are aware of it and we're sorry. With that being said, I hope you enjoy it. And make sure you slap that subscribe button, hit that notifications, do all those things. And if you want to really support, become a Patreon member to the New Old Heads, patreon.com/newoldheads, or leave a review on one of your podcast apps if that's what you're listening to. So, all right, let's get into it.
You're listening to the New Old Heads podcast, shot live every Tuesday at twitch.tv/newoldheads and released every Thursday at noon via bringingdowntheband.com. The show is brought to you by Coleman Dental, Indie CD and Vinyl. Support the show directly by becoming a member at patreon.com/newoldheads.
You're now tuned in to the New Old Head.
Yeah.
Who is it?
I don't know. The new Cholchech?
Here we go. You're now tuned in to the New Old Heads podcast. I am Major 7th. The brothers are in the building. We got a special episode today. My man Jay Moore, how are you, good sir?
You know, still feeling the high of a good Thanksgiving holiday, but we're just maintaining here. So getting ready to get into what is the meat of the fourth quarter, if you will.
My man Lonegevity. How are you, buddy?
Doing great, man.
Yeah,
doing spectacular. How are you doing?
I like that hat.
Thanks, man. I wore it because you wanted me to.
I did. I told you about that.
Yeah.
Good look for you.
Oh, thanks. Covers my head and it's cold.
A bit nippy outside for sure. We in the Midwest. My man DJ Jay Diff. What's happening, man?
Salutations.
How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm here.
Hey, good.
Absolutely. Well, we had the story beforehand.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, but it was solid for the most part.
I feel like it was multiple plates.
About 2. Try to hold back a little bit.
At least he didn't have like chicken salad,
Nah, that's not an option at Thanksgiving, but
maybe for Mike.
That's triggering.
Maybe for Mike.
That's triggering for me, but we're not gonna go down that road. That's triggering.
No
for
booty
me.
noodles.
Yeah, that's none of that.
Nah,
no chitterlings. We don't do that. We have a very special guest in the building. YouTuber, hip hop historian, is what I will say. And he reached out and said that he had been watching us and noticing some of our content. We really appreciate that. We have Justin Hunte in the building, a.k.a. the company man. How are you, sir?
Active and awesome. Thank you for having me. It's really dope, man. I appreciate you guys letting me come through.
We really appreciate you spending some time because, the holidays and everybody just usually wants to relax and lay low. But the fact that you were able to give us a little bit of your time just to stop by and chop it up, we really appreciate that, bro.
Word up, man. This is dope, man. You guys have a lot of great conversations. I'm a fan of your channel.
Thank you.
This is really dope for me.
Hey, we were just happy, at one time when you chimed in and, we saw that you commented on some of our comments. Like, hello,
hey,
somebody notices us.
Word up, man. Yeah, man. It's dope. This is a great studio, too, by the way. They got multiple monitors, y'all. You can't always see how well people are working with when you're watching the end product. But, this is official over here now.
Hey, man, we appreciate it, man. All right, so we can, I think, for the most part, everybody's pretty much been talking about Mr. Kendrick and his album and coming.
He put out an album?
You're right,
No,
exactly.
Yeah, right.
And his, preparation or what he's dropped leading into the Super Bowl. I think it's pretty much everywhere. I know you've discussed it probably ad nauseum by now, but there's always meat on the bone for that conversation where we can maybe, dig in and look for a couple different angles. So,
I got one.
Go ahead, Lone. What you thinking? Where you want to start?
So my thing is this: with we kind of briefly talked about this last week on the show, episode 415, and also with Kendrick saying there's no big three, there's only big me. Mm-hmm. Can the argument officially be said that there is no longer a big three anymore? Is it just Kendrick? Is Cole out of the equation? Is Drake out of the equation? That's my question that I posed to you guys.
Yeah, well Drake kind of eliminated himself especially being part of a big three when it comes to hip hop. I mean, because we've been alluding to him being a pop star the whole time we've been on.
Since episode 1, right?
Yes.
Literally what it's called.
So he's taking the pop star route because this is not hip hop. Like if you talk about the definition of hip hop,
right,
and you're taking the route that you're taking as far as even bringing up a possible lawsuit and a lawsuit to go with that, and wanting to be considered as the biggest thing in hip hop, this just ain't it. So he eliminated himself from being a big three hip hop wise, as far as I'm concerned. As far as J. Cole, he conceded. He really didn't want to smoke with the beef, and people say, well, he had to protect his personal peace. Okay, that's all.
Fair.
That's fair.
That's cool.
But at the end of the day, you got in the game that's built on like bravado. Like if somebody comes at you, you're supposed to say something about it, right? I don't care if we friends or not. And Kendrick is letting y'all know, I don't care about this friendship. I'm here to rap. This is what I aspire to do. And anybody that steps in the ring is going to catch these hands lyrically. You know what I'm saying? You can talk about my height, whatever, but these lyrics are strong and stand 6 feet plus. So anybody that got something to say, I'm here for you. And he alluded to that on the first track on his album. Now, as far as the big three, it damn near has to change. With Kendrick being one of the parts of the big three, obviously.
I almost think, like, I see what you're saying. So you're saying that there's a new big three that could emerge from this. I personally think that there's only one.
Yeah. Because big three is when you can argue about who is 1, 2, or 3, you know, depending on who you are and what time it was. You know, when we would have the Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas, you know, if you asked me when Blueprint came on, Jay-Z was number 1. But then when Stillmatic came out, Nas was number 1. I mean, it's kind of hard because, you know, even when Jay said Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas, you know, Biggie was no longer with us. But so for a lot of people, he was automatically number 1 just based off of what he did on Life After Death. And they were trying to catch him because, quite honestly, that's what they were trying to do. But with this, at this point, it's like Kendrick and those other 2 guys. You know,
see, we talked about this before. You know, Justin, you mentioned Tyler. We talked about Tyler, and I think Tyler has, with Chromacopia, he has cemented himself in the conversation because Kendrick. We'll set Kendrick over to the side, right?
Okay. But
the distance between whoever else is coming up behind him, Tyler is in that realm to me, just because of his consistency in all of his projects. And then leading up to this one, I'm a music nerd, so maybe I'm biased, but I enjoyed it. I think it's very well executed, thought out, conceptually. All that stuff works for me. So I think he's one of those people that you have to at least you have to acknowledge him, and he's one of the people that you can talk about. You know, you have to mention him. Just so you can jump in, but I think he definitely has to be mentioned as well.
Yeah, I think there's 2 conversations going, right? It's like, okay, well, where are Drake and J. Cole currently? Right. You know, you've got one of them who apologized and bowed out on stage, and then showed up 4 months later and said, "Please don't diss me, Drake" song. And then you have the other one who's filed 2 legal actions because he lost a rap battle. Yeah. It don't sound like neither one of them want to be in no big three, no hip hop, no nothing to me. Regardless of how my affinity for J. Cole's perspective, and he's from the Carolinas, I'm from the Carolinas, you know, that's always home team, you know, but it doesn't seem like he really wants it. It doesn't seem like, and Drake, you know, he's so mad. I mean, this is like, you know, it's funny because I saw some posts today and they were like, you know, Tyler dropped an album and Kendrick dropped an album and all these Future dropped 3 albums and Drake is still streaming more. Yeah, but that's back catalog.
Yeah,
facts.
That's back catalog. That's amazing. I mean, if you look at Drake's output this year, he's approaching something like 20 tracks.
Yeah.
20 tracks of music. You know? And I know we like to look at these, you know, plot twist drops or something, but he's on songs with Camila Cabello, whatever her name is.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? He had songs that were pushed that did go through normal channels of release, and they didn't do that well. No. You know, so if you're looking at big three, Drake is back catalog, and for me personally, really is just how much people love J. Cole at this point in time. But if I look at their 2 actions this year, it doesn't even seem like they want it. And one of them wants to tear the whole thing down.
Yeah, that's true.
And Tyler doesn't have those kind of problems. Like, Tyler's always wanted it. And I think he's done, especially after his last project, that was a hip-hop album.
100%.
You know what I mean? The two before that showed his range as a songwriter. And then you got this album he dropped on a short week, which to me is very hip-hop in its approach at the same time. This is someone who definitely wants it. You know, I'm not sure if people allow themselves to unshackle themselves from the subliminal blog era, you know, our affinity for the blog era, big three, but I don't know if you drop in apologies and legal petitions.
Come on. That mysterious music ain't so mysterious no more.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think if I'm not mistaken on Chromacopia, he says it's only I don't know, I can't remember the bar, but he says something to the effect of his only person that's messed with me is Kendrick. Yeah. So he's telling y'all, to your point, I want this.
On the West Coast.
Yeah, on the West Coast. Yeah. But I took it a step further and was like, no, that's period. That's the way I see it right now. And I love that he embraces it, to your point. Like he knows. Right. Like I'm out here. Like I'm out here. I have the quality product to back it up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pro Tyler, man. I've always been a fan. Like I think he needs to be in the conversation.
His bag, he wears a couple different hats and a couple more backpacks on his bag too, because he's beyond in production.
Yeah.
I think he approaches his albums from a point of not just putting out an album.
Yeah.
He wants it to be an experience, which is usually what artists do. A lot of newer artists don't do that. They just want a song here, a song there, a song. It's not a complete project, so to speak. Yep. And when you're like us, we come from an era where when people dropped an album, you wanted to appreciate the whole album versus that one song you seen on, you know what I'm saying, BET or whatnot. I don't want to buy an album for one song.
Yeah,
it's a dud at this point.
That's how
I've done it
That's
before.
how Good Mob got me, man. With World Party.
World Party got me. Get rich to this.
Yes. That started off so great.
Yeah.
Jurassic 5 got me.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
With quality control.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Goody Mob, they came out the gate. But yeah, you right about World Party.
I couldn't cut the grass. Couldn't get through the whole lawn. That CD.
Yeah. Throw this out here, Queen Latifah. Set it off. Right. Throw it out the car. I'm not listening to this.
Man. Wow. I see what you did there. I was like, wait, Queen Latifah dropped some
I know you ain't talking about the set off soundtrack now.
Let's not be disrespectful here. Yeah.
That had Days of Our Lives on it. What do you mean?
Yeah, let's say Cleo instead of Queen Latifah.
Yeah,
that's better.
Queen caught us straight.
Yeah.
But I do think it's interesting, right? Because if one of the things that did come around this conversation too was Future's GQ interview. And he was like, "Oh, well, Kendrick kind of dissed me too." You know what I mean? That was the first time I'd ever looked at anything Future ever said and be like, "Oh, he cares. He cares about this thing."
Yeah.
I don't know if he's being cynical or not, but Kendrick, Tyler, Future to me feels stronger than Kendrick, Drake, or Drake, J. Cole, and whatever they got going on this year. Now, I'm not taking away from them, but I am taking away from them.
Now, you might have some credence on that because me personally, everybody knows I'm not really a big Future fan.
Really? Nor am I.
And usually, in some circles, I'm the outsider because it's like, hey, I really dig Future. How do you not like Future? It's like the albums don't resonate with me. But as far as his fan base is concerned, Future's out here. And he was a hook man for a while. You know what I'm saying? And as far as features is concerned, I mean, he's the one that started the Kendrick thing. Essentially, he set it off.
Yeah,
he did.
And
That's true.
Metro Boomin,
Yeah, he set it off, and he actually his albums, I want to say the 2 mixtapes he dropped, or are they considered albums?
I think they're considered albums.
2 albums.
Those kind of put him in a good area, especially for his fans. They love those, and he followed it up with another one. But
and he broke a record. I mean, that's 3 number ones in 6 months. I don't think anyone did that.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
That is a very strong argument.
No, it is.
Like I'd never even really considered Future to be a potential big 3, but
like I said, seeing basically going back almost 15, 20 years, seeing how music moves in real time and seeing his impact in public spaces.
No, it's real.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, at any given time, the stuff that he's done with Drake has been stronger than the stuff Drake did without him.
Yes.
Oh,
that's true.
That's a bar right there.
So you got to understand, I think there is if you're really going to talk about who's the big 3 right now, you see who's just basically It's Kendrick just because he's like Mike Tyson in the 80s when he just came and cleared the divisions out.
Right.
Then he was holding all 3 belts around his neck. But then you see somebody like Tyler who not only has now the commercial success, but he has the critical acclaim.
Yeah.
And then you have somebody like Future who maybe doesn't have the critical acclaim and have the ear of certain hip hop fans. He has, for lack of a better term, like the places where the big speakers are.
Yeah.
And he has had that space for well over 10 years now.
Facts.
And he's also from a big hip hop lineage, that being the Dungeon family.
That's true.
And that used to always bother me because the music didn't correlate. I'm like, you from the Dungeon family, but the music is not matching your lineage is not adding up. But
Here's how it lines up for me, though.
please help me, bro. Help me.
So, like with the Dungeon family, right, they were so about originality.
Yes.
Right? If you listen to all the different members from it was Outkast, whether it's Cool Breeze, whether it's Goody Mob, no matter whoever it is,
Shout out to Witch Doctor.
Witch Doctor,
Facts.
they
Facts.
all rap differently. They all had their own style, right? Because you weren't really allowed to get on a track if you sounded like someone else in the crew. That's just kind of how, organized noise did it, right?
Yeah.
So let's say you little baby Future, right? And you're just sleeping on the floor, and you're in the studio. And there's Big Boy, Andre, Cujo, CeeLo, Big Gibb,
T-Bo,
Witch Doctor,
yeah,
everybody.
yeah.
All these styles are in this room. And you can't rap like nobody else because that's the rules of the studio. Is there anything really left other than to just start mumbling?
That is a great argument.
Maybe there's no styles left, and that's how you get to where.
I've never heard it presented because I've been saying this for years. So this is the first time someone at least makes me think about how he
belongs in the
how he
Dungeon
belongs in the lineage of the tree. Because to me, I'm like, he's over here, the Dungeon family's over here. I've always been that way. I'll accept that though. I'll accept
They're not
that.
allowed to rap alike.
I'll accept that because I didn't think about him sleeping on the floor. I didn't think about that.
It's the only thing left.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. I'll accept that. I'll accept that.
This also makes the argument for, because this isn't new for Future. So this kind of makes the argument that maybe he's always been a part of it, of the big 3 argument, and maybe somebody else shouldn't have belonged in.
Future been bubbling a long time.
Yes.
In Atlanta, in the South.
Ain't no bubble. Like it's.
Nah,
I'm talking about.
He has a presence.
Yeah, I'm talking about when he first started coming out. Future was out there.
Well, his first song that he was out mainstream, I want to say, was it the Racks on Racks on Racks song? He was a feature on that song. The guy who sang it, look, I'm saying the guy who sang it was. I don't even remember who he was.
I can't remember right now.
I can't remember either.
No, I remember he did some. It was this cat named Rocco.
No, that wasn't Rocco.
No, it wasn't Rocco.
No, that's not who did it. But I just remember there was a guy named Rocco.
I remember Rocco. That's Monica's baby daddy.
Yeah.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
Okay.
YC.
Or at least one of them.
YC
I don't think that don't sound familiar.
says YC featuring Future Racks.
Oh, well, maybe that was his name.
Wow. Well, I mean, that's better than the guy who did Racks on Racks on
Was that
Racks.
2012, 2011?
11.
Yeah.
Okay. So, well over a decade.
He's been up for a long time.
Yeah.
I like that, man. I like.
He had no choice.
There's no other flows left.
I'm not mad at that, man.
But when he went by the different alias, he rapped differently. When he was like some Moonhead or I can't remember.
Man,
It was
Everybody has
something. He had a different name.
I don't know the lore, man.
Yeah, he had a different name.
Cause you understand it when he what is it, Moonhead? Cause he.
I can't. Like, I don't want to do him like that.
All right, cool.
But it was something head.
Did it sound different though?
No, he did absolutely sounded different.
He was on some conscious type.
I wouldn't say all that.
Yeah,
but
okay. Calm down.
It was a different type of rap.
Okay.
It wasn't the Future that we know today.
Meathead.
Meathead. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So he was a whole. The sound was totally different. It was compared to Future was dialed down. It's like he created a different person, kind of like Titty Boy did with 2 Chainz.
Right.
Nice.
But he still sounded the same essentially.
Meathead is a really wild name.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Probably better
So is
than
Titty Boy.
Future.
Titty Boy was a wild name.
Titty Boy is a crazy
Yeah,
name.
but once he dropped Titty Boy, it was to the moon.
It's kind of hard to be.
Yeah,
What's
you
that
can't really
Titty Boy
market.
show? That's-
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, we're gonna have Titty Boy as an endorser for Pepsi.
Right.
No, man, it's not gonna work.
Hey, you stupid, Jay. That would be.
I'm sorry,
That'd
but-
be awful at a corporate event, wouldn't it?
No, I literally
Coming
had
to the
talk-
stage.
Titty
Boy.
Titty Boy.
No, I had to talk to this cat who was in the record pool. This is way back in the record pool days, and he had a name. His name was basically, he doesn't go by this anymore. So his name was DJ Embezzle. So I get it, and it was crazy because he worked at a bank, and I'm like, these things can't really line up with how you're trying to live your life, my man.
That's probably not smart.
Facts.
It's kind of like that stripper name that you always talk about.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Gonorrhea.
Contagious.
It was contagious. It was a stripper named Contagious.
Oh, wow. It's way too close.
Now, yeah, it really was. But, now, mind you, it was around the same time R. Kelly and Isley Brothers had a song out called Contagious, but I don't think she thought that all the way.
Terrible time.
You know, considering your line of work, you just can't be moving around with a name like Contagious.
Coming to the stage. Contagious. Yeah. Everybody.
Get away.
No,
Yeah, nobody's sitting at the stage.
I'll keep my
I'm
ones.
cool.
Thank you
She
very
might
much.
be contagious. I'm cool.
Yeah, word.
I will watch from this side of the establishment. No twerk wind over here, please.
Even that might be contagious.
Oh, man. Yeah.
All right.
I think we're a little deep into the contagious rabbit hole there.
For sure.
Contagious watching the show.
No disrespect.
Shouts to you.
What do you mean no disrespect after
It's too
everything you
late
just
for
said?
that. It's too late for that, ain't it? It's too late for
I'm
that.
pretty sure after the song, you know, when it ran its course, she probably said, let me go ahead and change this up.
So contagious.
I remember that record, Driving Me Wild. I remember that. Yeah.
So are we going with the big three being Kendrick, obviously?
Kendrick.
You know, I was going. I'm still going to stand firm on it's only Kendrick, but I will say Justin made a very, very good point for Future.
He did.
So
Would you say three number one? It was 3 number ones and
6 months, yeah.
That's
3 and
crazy.
6
I think it's like
That's
can't
crazy.
argue with stats.
I
Man.
can't. I can't.
Like
As much as I want to, I can't.
Because as much as we say these things are manipulated, which they are, like I said,
Oh, 100%.
You know, at a certain point, you got to understand, like, the people vibe with whatever the, you know, just like you just can't say, yeah, if it weren't for the machine, not like this would have never
Not
worked.
like us.
Yeah.
You know, you heard that at bar
that's the
mitzvahs.
remix.
Not like, yeah, you heard that at bar mitzvahs. You heard, I remember.
Not like
Drake
this.
hates to hear they heard it at a bar mitzvah.
Oh, yeah, that's bad.
I see what you did.
No, like
there.
literally, we
Oh,
played.
there's all kinds of bar mitzvah videos.
Yeah.
For real, I'm not playing.
No, I believe you. I
We
believe
played
Little
that.
yarmulkes are going up.
Yeah. We played that song the day it came out in the club, and it went up. So this is before the machine could have even gotten involved.
Yeah. I was at a DJ battle the day it came out.
Yeah.
And one of the DJs in the battle, it literally came out right before we went in.
Yeah.
He was able to download that song and play it during his battle.
That's crazy.
So that has nothing to do with algorithm, right?
How's the crowd react?
They went
You
off.
know?
Yeah.
Because it was like everybody's in their car listening to it before they go into this.
Right.
You know, because anytime Kendrick or Drake did anything at that particular moment, it's like everything stops. We need to partake in whatever happened.
What was Drake's best moment in the battle?
Family Matters.
Yes.
Family Matters, yeah.
That's what-
He texted, either called or texted me, because that's the one that had the van cover, right? Yeah, I remember me and Terry were texting. He said, and I'm paraphrasing obviously because you can't read it. You got to figure out how he's going to send it or whatever. But he's like, man, I don't know. So as soon as I heard, man, I don't know, I said, okay, let me click on it. I hit him back. I was like, yeah, we pro Kendrick, but
this
like,
is a rough
this
one.
this
Yeah,
right here
this
is
is gonna-
rough. Like he definitely took care of business on Family Matters.
Not like us came out, 45 minutes later? It was something.
No, I
real.
would not like
it was,
No, it was,
Meet
six-
the Grams.
Oh, Meet the Grams. Okay.
Meet the Grams was the point where I said, I don't care what he put out after this. So that was just my stopping point. When I heard Meet the Grams, I said, I don't care what he do after this. He broke down your whole family. Literally your whole family, your child, when he get 18, it's a wrap. I don't
Talking
care.
to his child.
Get a gym
Yeah.
membership.
I'm not dissing you, but I want to explain to you who you're around, your family.
After I heard that, I said, nah, I don't care what he do.
Like I
That
said,
was my stopping
leave
point.
these rappers from Compton alone, man.
Hey,
It's not.
man.
Really, they are very different on the West Coast.
Yeah, like I said, we
Facts.
talk about
Very different on the
how Cube, MC8. I don't think we talk about enough. I mean, honestly, him and when back and forth with
Quick.
Quick, because
Quick,
when
yeah.
Quick said the G8 in you.
Right.
That was
Hey, that was real. That was real life too. That's not some of this rap stuff that we hear. They were really
that
out
was real
there.
life. That was real life.
They were
right?
out there.
Nobody had a defamation of character suit.
Well,
And those got real bad. Like
Real
some
bad.
of the stuff DJ Quick was talking about are some moments that he should probably correct the lyrics. So he probably should never say those again.
Like I heard they had to like really kind of piece it up and be like, all right,
Yeah.
Yeah, that could have got
Game
bad.
is the game.
Yeah,
You know,
that could have got bad.
I mean, shoot. I mean, honestly, there should have been no. I mean, there really was no coming back for NWA after No Vaseline.
I didn't want it.
Yeah, I mean, that pretty much had everybody looking at their contracts and saying, "Hey, maybe we should stop messing with Eric."
Right.
Like it was
Too late.
Nah, we're good. We're good.
So how does that fare? Like when we talk about listening and the fans and how we actually receive this music when it comes to the algorithm talk, does he have a for real case based on people being fans of this music or being made to listen to
Drake?
this music?
Does he have a case?
Yeah.
You can, you could file anything, I guess, if you want to.
You can't file anything. Yeah.
But like, one of them was that they use bots,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm pretty sure everybody's using bots.
It's like shoot,
Drake's benefited off those.
like shooting yourself in
that's
the
the main
foot.
one.
Yeah.
Two, they paid influencers and didn't state that they were paid.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think that's probably something everybody's doing too, to be honest.
Probably.
Then there was the other one, the 30%?
What's that one?
He's saying that Spotify gave UMG a 30%
Oh yeah.
cut, reduce the price by 30% to put whatchamacallit in a different playlist. But that sounds like the Spotify Discover program that every artist can access.
Yeah.
That's true.
It sounds
very
like
true.
that.
Good point.
I mean, the only thing where I'm like, oh, that really was some underhanded genius is when, he took the content ID off of the video.
Yeah.
So every YouTuber and every content creator could just go ahead and review his music and not get a copyright
And that
strike.
to me was awesome.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
everybody should
agreed.
be supporting their local streamer.
Yeah.
Facts.
Should be doing that.
Facts.
But I think he lifted that. I'm pretty sure.
You lifted for a month and then they put it
Yeah.
back.
Which is okay.
But you still get that first month. Like it's
Yeah.
not,
Yeah, all we needed was that first
he
month.
needs the first month. That's,
Yeah.
That's the big month.
I don't know.
Big month.
Our evergreen stuff is important for us. So
Still, but
It's like-
still, like that lifting that for a lot of channels brought people to their evergreen stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
I agree. But
Like, is that a crime to lift
No,
the
'cause that's-
copyright? Like, there's
No.
labels and artists who've done that for me.
Tyler just
No,
did
we've had it
recently
too.
on
We've had
Chromacopia.
I mean, it's a
Yeah,
great
yeah.
idea.
I like it from the angle I like it. I think it's one of those interesting things. I think it depends on because we dance around, like anybody that does YouTube kind of understands this little dance that you do with using other content, and whether it's essay videos or whether it's in putting music in there or reviewing or reactions and stuff like that. And there's multiple things that you can do. Like when we do a music reaction video, most artists at this point at the stage in their career have content ID to some degree, but there's also different ways that different distribution companies work with content ID, and some of them allow you to share monetization. Some of them just block it. The majors typically block it, right? What I prefer, what I think is really dope for content creators, is when you have the opportunity to use somebody's music or use somebody's content and you can share in the monetization of the original video that you're uploading. I would be happier with that approach rather than me make a piece of content and then after a month you start monetizing this thing that I make. I don't like that aspect of it. I think there's like a little bit of a lob for like, okay, yeah, use this for a little piece of time. But I'm kind of like, I made this piece of content and now you're going to essentially profit off of it.
Continue to
Posts.
profit.
Yeah.
off it.
Look, all you artists complain that you're not getting many money off these streams anyway. Just go ahead and let the content creators help you out a little bit by exposing it to their audience as well.
I mean, I end up just taking out the music in my stuff.
I guess you can. I guess you can do that as
Yeah,
well.
just
I guess
take it out.
I guess it depends on how ingrained it is into like your original piece of
Right.
content too.
It depends on what
right?
you're doing. Like, I haven't done this yet, but I'm going to start doing this. I'm going to start. Like right now when I do reactions to songs, I still keep the song in or the video in. I think it's just a better experience,
I
overall.
agree as well. Yeah.
But I've watched people do this and they take out the music and just have the full with the music available on the Patreon or for members.
Every signifier does that.
Right.
Oh, does it?
And then you cut out the song, and so it's something on the channel. You're activating the algorithm.
Yeah.
People are coming over, but then you can have a different version of it. I mean, I don't do that often enough to where my channel is greatly impacted. You know what I mean? Like, especially if I'm scripting something. If I'm writing something, I'll write all around your music. You know what I
No,
mean?
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because I know that feeling where you have something awesome that's up there and it's really a great breakdown or a piece that highlights the art that we all love and it's sitting there. Then here comes some label or some truthfully, some IP owner. They're saying, actually, that's ours. They're basically we got caught using the sample. Basically, it's what it is.
That's
they've turned into the artists have turned into the sample police, basically.
Yeah, that's true.
So, it's unfortunate because artists, obviously, I see where they're coming from, and the labels, they want to maximize everything they can. But like when people hear your music, you want people to hear your music. You don't want people to start trying to find ways to not allow their audience to hear your music.
Yeah, for sure. No, for sure.
Well, it's kind of like, remember when they clamped down, like they rated DJ Drama, yeah. And they're like, no, this is all illegal. These are every CD in here is a copyright infringement claim, which technically they're right, but especially for newer artists. A lot of times those mixtapes are what really got you out there and might have got you in front of a label.
They were wanting to be on a mixtape.
Yeah.
Yes. And then they tried to do corporate, mixtapes, and it just got to a point where I was like, okay, well, they just destroyed
lost the whole pizzazz.
This part of the culture. Look, I remember when all the stores got raided here, I was still living in St. Louis.
Billy's.
Yeah. And then they called me and every other mixtape DJ, and they're like, yeah, you got to come get all this out of here. And we were getting nice money on it. Oh, gosh.
Was that 5 or 6?
I want to say, it's been about 20 years.
One of the record stores here was actually featured in the documentary. I can't remember the name of that record.
No, it was
store.
on YouTube. And shout out to Norman Reed. He's an attorney, but he also is DJ Mellow Mix.
Yeah.
He was featured in that documentary. And it was just one of those things where there was a lot of shots at Naptown and people in and around the city. And they shut that whole. I mean, there are still people who sell mixtapes. But it's just not. It's not the same. I mean, now it's not the same because nobody has a CD player in their car,
right?
And people don't even have CD players in their houses.
Yeah, I don't have an optical drive at all.
Yeah, not even on a computer.
Xbox. That's about it.
Yeah, you know what was crazy? PlayStation 5s can't even play, even though it's a Sony technology. CDs cannot play CDs.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really? PS5 can?
Yeah. PS5 cannot play CDs.
Yes, I don't got optical. No.
Yeah, I think that too was due to the machine essentially not understanding how that was actually benefiting them.
Yeah,
they were being greedy. Which is what's going on now as far as the streaming services are concerned. They're being greedy, giving everybody crumbs and pieces of the penny off of every stream. But I mean, a lot of the artists have adapted to these things because they had to.
It's accepted as a norm anymore, So.
Yes, they adapted to it. So, and as we said, Drake has played a part in that algorithm play as well, and it just didn't come out in his benefit this particular time. So it's like he's dropping a bomb on it, thinking he's doing something for himself, essentially, not to benefit everybody else, like we kind of alluded to like a week ago when we had the conversation.
Yeah, I don't think he's doing this because he's like some Robin Hood.
Of course not. Yeah, no.
He's doing this because, and all those narratives are garbage. So
they're narratives from the Drake Glazer community. What are you talking about?
That's the truth.
I call them drizzlers. I call them drizzlers. That's what I call them. They're drizzlers.
I mean, they get really extreme here. You mean to tell me this guy who only cares about sales? Is there all of their metrics when they talk about how great it is? He still leads in sales. He still leads in sales. How's he not dropped an album? He's still leading in sales. Yeah. What, he's suing? Oh, he's suing for all of us. He is now suing for all. No, man.
It's like all of a sudden.
He's not doing that. He is. Yeah. He is having.
He definitely backed into his people championing that part of it. Yeah, he backed into that because we were talking about this before we came on. That wasn't the intention, fam. That's not what you really were going for.
And I think it's really silly to even go public with this kind of thing and actually go at UMG. I know he really probably wants to sue Kendrick. That would look even worse. But I can't see, I don't have an example of this kind of thing breaking positively in technically the employees' favor. Right. So I think he might get Diageo'd in a very real way.
Oh, wow. Look, that's why I said, hey, man, he needs to up his security. Yeah, and make because he's messing with these folks' money. He's messing with these, the whole. You can't attack the machine, and even if you think let's take that out of there.
He's actually making it better for Kendrick at this point.
Yeah, because now he really is not like us. He's suing over a rap battle,
right? Yeah. Well, then, and also there was they said a 43%, 23% spike since the Drake filings went out on the GNX and on Not Like Us.
Yeah,
but the other side of this is, Drake is, whether you believe it or not, that $400 million deal is what they call a LeBron-size 360 deal.
Yeah.
Right? It's something that I'm sure very few artists in the UMG system, probably him, Taylor Swift, maybe one or two other people, who knows? Even Bad Bunny.
I think that's about
Bad
it.
Bunny. Maybe.
Oh, Bad Bunny.
They probably got some special something, right? Drake's obviously been eating off this system his entire career. But now, putting the light on UMG like this, like, do you want every artist that's somehow in this UMG system start saying, hey, you know what, they've actually been playing with my money and my numbers too. Like, you want all the artists in the UMG system start going
Opens
public
up
about
Pandora's box.
I mean,
Bruh.
this does not work well for whistleblowers.
At all. At all.
At best. And either
Drake's
way, it still doesn't change my opinion on him. He still lost the battle. He still can't do third-person storytelling. I still don't like how narrow he is. He doesn't talk about bigger, broader issues. As long as he's on top, it's the only thing he cares about. So to me, he's still the same, just worse.
Yeah.
You know?
He doesn't understand how organic reach works.
Right.
At the end of the day, just because you're Drake and you have a bigger machine behind you, the people have spoken.
The dude is
as simple as
he's
that.
the Canadian Zach Morris. You know, he's been his whole career's been juiced before he even got here.
Yeah.
He had every teenager in Canada watching him.
That's true. That's true.
You know, like,
Drake out here with
he
the
should have done this. I mean, there was real conversations and debates like, why is this dude signing in the first place at all?
Yeah.
You could have a successful independent career in 2008,
could.
9, 10. You could do that.
Yeah.
Some of them early mixtapes was fire too.
I mean, he had those records that, you know, I was hearing from, you know, like people who was trying to put me on the music, like, yo, there's this kid from Canada.
Yeah.
And like those songs were getting played by people who were doing mixtapes, and he like, so he already had enough of a buzz where I don't know if, you know, what was it? The songs that were on the mixtapes, those were songs that wound up being singles. I mean, I'm probably sure they had to go through legal, clear samples and all that, but like that stuff was already working before he signed the contract.
Because the Drake that was still fooling with Lil Brother, that Drake, plenty of heat. Plenty of heat.
Biting from Lil Brother.
Biting for Fonte
We talked about that a lot.
Sorry.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that because they think we pull that out of our ass when we say that. I'm glad
He
you
would have
said
graduated
that.
to fooling with him if he had Fonte. Maybe.
Come on, man.
Thank Me Later. That would have been a great time to elevate Fonte, but you know, Drake never gets that far down.
We say that so often on this show.
Lone, this is so refreshing. We've been saying this for years. They think we playing when we talk about Fonte's influence. Oh, he wasn't paying attention. Bro, we were outside. Thank you.
He fathered his style.
I literally hit last week's episode. I literally put Fonte's picture up and we mentioned it. We didn't say his name, but you were like, you know, because Terry said something like, you know, he got his whole style from somebody else, and I went,
yeah, the whole thing.
There are people out there that think that is not even close to being a real thing. I'm like, you couldn't have been outside, or you just haven't been paying attention.
90% of Drake's fans are younger anyway,
Man,
so they don't know who Fonte is.
But these are people that are our age that I know better. That's what I'm talking about.
You know, you could
have a song together.
Everything that people, Euphoria, the beginning of Euphoria, so funny to me, right? Because they took the part from The Wiz and they flipped it backwards. And it's everything they say about me is true. Everything they say about me is true. You could go all the way back to the first time we ever heard about Drake, and there is something that happened this year that connects with something he did. Stealing flows, stepping on people's success before they get a chance.
it's like it's all caught up to him. Like 2024 was the year caught up to him.
And it still
Shout out to Cat Williams.
Hey,
and it still burns me up when I see the video of him just speaking so highly of Little Brother, and I'm like, where was the feature? That still burns me up to this day. Oh my God, I love Little Brother Fonte. And oh my God, there's just and Big Pooh and man, Ninth, those beats. Oh my God, I just love. I'm like, where was the?
that's a great impression.
Yeah.
But he sounded so. Oh my God, man, just Little Brother, bro. Like they just. I'm like, what?
My hard R. That's my hard R.
Oh wow.
Wow.
That's back.
Come on,
back
man.
when he had the
Come
hard
on,
R.
man.
That's my hard R.
Come on, man.
See those
They're
guys
just so
right there. That's my hard
influential.
R right there.
They're just so influential, man. Like I just grew up listening to their music. Like
Done records with everybody but them.
yeah, Fonte would have smoked you on Lord knows everything, whatever you wanted to put. Come on, man. I'm so thank you, man. Thank you, man. They think we crazy. Thank you for that, bro.
Hey, Fonte's my favorite rapper. So
Come on,
this is
man.
what it
Yeah,
is.
he's amazing.
Yeah, tell the truth out here.
Tell the
Stop
truth.
playing.
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
I see where you're going.
That's messed up, yeah.
People don't realize. I mean, I think to me, it's very sad that the influence and impact of Little Brother is so underplayed now. You know,
Man,
Kanye shook. Kanye was straight up scared they were going to beat him to the punch.
Come on.
Beat him to the punch. You know, like Ninth has gone on record talking. Kanye's gone on record talking about that.
What's your? Let me ask you a question. And I know this is a pivot, but we talking about Little Brother real quick while we got you here. Favorite Little Brother project?
Chitlin Circuit 1.5.
Over the albums?
Yeah, that's my favorite, my personal favorite, yeah. I wouldn't say necessarily their best one. I think their best one's...
But that's your favorite.
Definitely my favorite. Yeah.
Okay.
And you from the Carolinas too, like you said. So
Where are you from?
I lived in Charlotte, North Carolina,
Okay.
and Greenville, South Carolina.
Got you.
We went to the 20th anniversary joint.
Oh, word. Okay, yeah.
We went down there. Yeah, it was love, man.
We actually took the big ass banner.
Oh, word. Okay, that's what's up.
The banners on both sides of the stage. We woke up the next day and we were driving through trying to find essentially like memorabilia, like
one of the signs or something.
signs, whatever. And we see the banner on the side of the street. So we pull over to the side. We all run across the street, roll the banner up, and put it in the van and drive off.
I have
Hasn't
video
been
of it.
7 years yet. Y'all should
That's beautiful.
No, we tagged them on it.
We tagged them. Yeah,
And they
we tagged them on it.
reposted it. It was
That's cool. They reposted it, right?
yeah.
that's
Yeah,
dope.
man.
That's dope.
But nah, they to your point, Ninth and those guys, they had a run. They had a run, and our Minstrel Show is one of the best records I've ever heard, top to bottom.
Easily.
You know what I'm saying? Like and like you said, I'm glad you said Chillin' Circuit because they have a lot of good mixtapes.
Yeah,
But that Minstrel Show, man, even the listening blew my mind when I first heard it.
I heard so many songs off the listening through OK Player. This is back in the day where, you talk about something and somebody hits you in the inbox and be like, link?
Right.
You know, and that's
Right.
And so I wound up getting almost that whole album out. And then when I was in Vintage Vinyl in St. Louis, I saw a stack of them.
Yeah.
And they were only selling these CDs. If I didn't know what I know then now, they were selling them for like $6.99.
Yeah.
I should have bought them all in retrospect, but I was
Can't
so
find them now.
I still have my I still have that the listening. It's one of the few physical CDs I really just keep, because at this point, why am I going to keep all this clutter as far as CDs are concerned? Right. But yeah, that's the one. And I just bought Separate But Equal. Like it was like somebody had it on CD on Amazon. I was like, well, why not?
Right.
Yeah, man.
It took me like 3 weeks to get it, which is weird for Amazon, but it's all good.
Shout out to Little Brother, man. We got randomly just showed him love.
Vontae's so quotable, man.
Quotable.
Constantly.
Man, I'm always like, anytime I feel like complacency setting in, I end up just rapping to myself. I pray to God, and he said, Tigger, Lo, I ain't gonna let you run it back this far. Just so you can go and fumble on the one. Nigga. Don't be fumbling on the one now.
Yeah. we just had a conversation last week, and I was like, look, man, do y'all really want to win, or do you want to look good losing?
Look good losing.
Yes.
Man, I was listening to that, what is it, what's the intro to Charity Starts at Home?
Tigolo, right? The Tigolo for Dolo? Oh, wait. No, I'm thinking about the other
where
one.
he says the flow's hair raising. It's like rabbit farming. Yeah, that song. I'm like, man, there's bars all over this
Look,
thing.
the one that always still resonates with me is when he talks about like when he was. I can't recite the bar. I don't have my mind doesn't work like that. But when he talks about working at a non-for-profit and they had him work the whole weekend, it's like why y'all. I really can't even say it now that I think about it.
No, you can't.
Yeah. No, don't say that. Yeah, don't say
it's
that.
like, well, y'all could have told me this on Monday.
Yeah.
Because I was working for a non-for-profit at the time, and I was like, man, this dude gets
Because the light at the end of the tunnel
is a train.
Right. At the end of the tunnel is a train.
Yeah.
Shout out to Little Brother.
Shout out to Little Brother, man.
But even when we talk about like influence, and we can pivot, but like, because obviously I teach music production, right? So when we talk about the influence that Ninth Wonder has had, not only on like, it was a really big thing when he decided and he came out and he was like, I don't make beats on an MP. I make MPC. I make beats on Fruity Loops.
Yeah.
That was when we talk just about the music production aspect of the influence of that was the moment when it became cool and okay to make beats on a computer. It was that moment.
I remember being in school, and this is around the time they were bubbling. It was in college, and Fruity Loops was starting to.
Yeah.
My boy, shout out to my boy Mo B. He had a copy of it. He said, this is the one everybody using. Dr. J uses, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, whoa. Fruity Loops, what is that, right?
Yeah.
And I remember being around a couple of my homies. They were like, man, it's this dude. He remixed the whole Black album. Yeah. And I was like, what? He was like, nah, it's this kid, man. He out of this group. They from North Carolina. And I was like, I went and listened to it. I think it was called... Black is Back or something like that. I can't remember what the name of whoever had titled it, but I remember being like, yo, whoever this is, fire.
Yeah. So it wasn't Soulja Boy?
Nah, I wasn't Soulja Boy.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't the first one to do that. Right. But I remember getting put on to them, and then, a friend of mine put me on to the listening.
Yeah.
And after that, I was hooked.
Yeah.
I remember thinking when I mean, like this is after, you know, but I remember God's Stepson. That was that was one of my favorites. Because as far as like when everybody remixed the Black album, and I don't even know what he's doing right now. Maybe he's still out there. I haven't done the research, but Kev Brown's The Brown album was one of my favorites.
Yeah, he dropped something. I think in the maybe not last year he dropped something recently. Because I remember I was having the same. I think you had mentioned this before.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh wow, Kev Brown. So,
and this might be my bias, you know, but my man, he was Needles at the time, James Biko. He did one called the Jacked album, which was incredible.
Needles is dope.
Yeah, so that was you know, so I had already you know, there were so many, especially this is when I first got high speed internet, so I was getting them all.
See, that's
because that dial up was killing me as far as like just trying to get music.
Right.
That's the one thing that I have a problem with when talking about like Little Brother's catalog, because I bought the Minstrel Show, but every other song that I had, I downloaded. So
because at one point that was the only way I could get it.
Yeah,
I had downloaded the whole.
I had no idea what project it was on. Like
before I found a physical copy of it.
Bro, I was going back and forth between when I found out who Ninth was. I had to go back and listen to this or jump forward to listen to this. I was kind of caught in between there, but all the stuff I heard was dope. Everything I heard from them coming out the gate was dope. No matter if it, you know, time wise, it may not have been in order, but I'm like, yo,
they're my
whoever dudes are, whoever these dudes are, they're fire.
The song that he remixed off of the listing where they flipped the Maxwell sample.
Come on.
I still play that for people and they're like, what is this? So.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. Shout out to LB, man.
Not for real.
LB business.
LB business.
Yes, sir. Back to Kendrick.
Thanks to our partners. Dr. Coleman of Coleman Dental is our go-to dentist. He's a longtime Indianapolis arts and music supporter located right in Broad Ripple. Our good friends at Indie CD and Vinyl operate one of the best record stores in North America. Shop new and used in their site or visit them in person. And the best way to support the New Old Heads is to visit our Patreon and become a member. All details on newoldheads.com.
So I'm going to kind of pivot off of the lawsuit talk. So they were saying that, you know, how Lil Wayne, we kind of talked about how Lil Wayne had something to say about his name being brought up in Kendrick's release. So they were saying that was essentially a bait, so to speak, for Kendrick to say something, and Kendrick didn't say anything. So he recorded something. That's what's been, people have been saying.
Who's recorded something?
Lil Wayne has recorded a response to Kendrick, essentially.
I heard, and maybe this is just rumor mill, but I heard that Wayne reached out to Kendrick and Kendrick didn't pick up. Did you guys heard that rumor?
I thought the reach out was him just saying, kind of leave my name, don't awaken the beast type.
No, that's been the word that he reached
tweet,
out. But it's like, I don't know what to believe at this point. Everything moves so quickly. But I could see Kendrick not picking up numbers that he hasn't seen on his phone in a while. I could see Kendrick literally with a flip phone and like,
not with the flip phone.
I mean, I'm sure they've talked though. There's no way that they haven't talked at all, in my opinion.
That's what I would think as well.
Now, I don't know what Wayne thinking about. If anybody thinks we want to hear Wayne battle bars, has he had any good rap battle bars in ever?
No, not something where I would think Kendrick will be in trouble. No, I haven't heard anything. You have to go back and think about when's the last time Wayne actually cooked somebody from a battle standpoint.
That's kind of what I was alluding to, because
Terry actually said that. He did say that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm alluding to, because like, even if he did drop a song, like, are we excited to hear it at all?
I'm not. No disrespect to Wayne, but
no, Wayne the whole
legend. Not on what he's accomplished, but like, he is not the same as. Sadly, I think that his, the best of him is now lost to the double cup.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Because like, even the way people talk about the Carter 3, I think the way people talk about the Carter 3 like it's the Carter 2. Okay.
Oh.
They talk about the Carter 3 like it's like this dynamic, well-rounded album. They really only like that album because it's
full of hits.
And it's sold 1 million that first week, and they'll build up to it. But as far as like his rapping,
yeah.
Ain't no shooter on the Carter 3. My man don't even know what planet. He's a Martian from Planet Weezy. How does that work?
Look, I remember, because even after the Carter 2, which I thought was good, but I listened to so much hip hop, I didn't think it was great.
Good tour.
I didn't see it. So when the Carter 3 is about to drop, and I hear Lollipop. I'm like, this is y'all's king?
No, that was on the Carter 2.
Nah,
Lollipop was Carter 3.
Is that Carter 3? Okay,
Carter 3.
my bad.
So I was like, I get it from a commercial standpoint. Like I said, I saw it, how it worked in the clubs. Yeah. But like, as far as like him standing out to where, okay, we're going to put this guy up there with, those guys that are them, I didn't get it.
Well, Jay had found out for a minute.
There's probably more the mixtape stuff in between there.
We talked about his mixtape run.
Wayne was different.
Thank you. That's true. That's very true.
I like Kanye's remix on Lollipop. It's a song with Wayne, and it's gonna melt, but you ain't finna murder me like everybody else.
Like everybody else.
Like I got some type of respect for myself. I don't do it for the health man. I do it for the belt man. I love that part.
There you go. See, that's another thing too. So
that was a different Kanye.
Different Kanye.
Man, I miss that guy.
Me too.
Yeah, he's so missed. But when it comes to Wayne, they were saying like, so what if he takes GNX and does mixtape treatment to GNX?
He can't. He doesn't have it in him. Yeah. Did you guys watch and I'm not saying this disrespectfully, I'm saying this, it really makes me sad, to be perfectly honest, but I watched Louisiana Fest, and I think maybe once he was able to go 2 songs without taking a break. Mm-hmm. I don't think his breath control is there.
I think the only thing I seen was the Hot Boys reunion part on that.
That's what I went there looking for, was the Hot Boys reunion. But I did see people talking about his performances, his performance in the festival, and it's like,
I saw so many comments like, "This is who y'all want."
This is who y'all want from Super Bowl. Exactly. Yeah, this is who y'all want, and that doesn't take anything, because that's what you get in the comments. Well, y'all stripping, you guys are trying to strip Wayne from his credentials, and he's not a legend. Nobody said that. We're talking about actual business and what the NFL wants to put on display, and it's not Wayne mumbling at the halftime show of the Super Bowl. That's no disrespect to Wayne as an artist. It's just what it is.
Doesn't sound good live anymore.
That's just what it is, bro.
Yeah, no slight, but hey, it is what it is, man. Kendrick on 2024. I wonder what he's going to do next year.
I mean, just imagine a Kendrick and Wayne battle. Like, hypothesize how this goes.
It's so boring, man.
He would wipe the floor with it.
It would be really quick. It wouldn't even take very long. He'd be like, "You're the reason our people are lean."
You know what's crazy?
What he did to Drake? What would he say to Wayne?
What did he say about it would get
there's this underlying conversation that speaks to, man, what if he brings out Wayne? And I'm like,
that talk is a wrap.
It's too late
now.
for that.
Yeah, like,
you can't complain your way onto the Super Bowl stage. I said that already.
Even if he was, it's a wrap now.
Kendrick is the Good Samaritan of the year if he bring Wayne. After all this, you that dude if you bring him out now.
I wouldn't be surprised if you bring out Nas.
He ain't gonna do that. That's what I'm saying. He's not gonna do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you bring out Nas, honestly, because he shouted.
He said that's the only person.
Nas the only one gave him peas for it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, but like Kendrick, I guess he's petty. I don't know, but like
he's petty. He's real petty.
He just listens to everything that y'all say, and he waits, and he's like that sniper in the bushes. It's like, yeah, you think it's all good,
because that's what all the later analysis I've been watching around the Squabble Up video.
Oh, I love the Squabble Up video.
Everyone, I guess, initially thought was a shout out, actually kind of shaded Kendrick this year. So, like, Questlove talking about how this battle had no skill in it at all.
Yeah.
So they used the.
He did say that.
The Roots video suits.
Yeah, they did.
You had Isaac Hayes Jr. was talking all kinds of junk about Kendrick.
Wow.
And was talking about how Drake's better or whatever. And then so Isaac Hayes is in there.
Yeah.
Ice-T said something about the battle or whatever. So now you got the power Darlene and the power in there, so it's like.
And now Questlove is on. I saw it on my Facebook stream. It's like, man, shout out to Kendrick for
they're all doing it now, right?
A lot of paying homage to a video that we thought nobody paid attention to. I'm like, fam, you was just talking. To your point, come on, man, come on.
Same thing. Now,
ain't it funny how life come at you fast?
Right. So
life come at you fast.
To that point, I definitely can't see Kendrick bringing out Wayne.
Yeah.
Definitely, those days are.
And when did the Super Bowl become a home game anyway?
It never was. I mean, after LA.
After LA, is that what it is? Is that what made people start thinking like that? Because a lot of the Kendrick haters are just pulling stuff out there. Wayne's supposed to get it based off what? What is he supposed to get it off as it relates to Kendrick Lamar being the hottest artist now, leading into what you're doing for the Super Bowl? Why would you? This is not a celebration of man, we love you and you've been a great artist for the city of New Orleans. That's not what the Super Bowl is.
Hey,
we do that for the New Orleans Walk of Fame, which is cold. Yeah. He's going to get that. That's cool. But the Super Bowl is not the platform for that, bro. It's not.
Yeah.
Last time it was in New Orleans, who was there? It was Beyonce, and then she brought out Destiny's Child.
Where was the uprise? Uproar, I'm sorry.
But this was before LA, so I guess I kind of get it. But look, you got to understand.
Before Jay-Z was involved.
Wayne literally said, look, he said on an interview, if I get it, I'm not bringing nobody else. It's going to be my 13 minutes. You wouldn't bring out the Hot Boys. He's not bringing out Nicki. He's not bringing out Drake. It's his 13 minutes. So
I ain't watching the Turk out there. What nobody said. Turk.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm pretty sure they'll take that into.
Man, BG
Turk looked good during Louisiana Fest, though.
He did. He did. BG too.
Good.
Yeah.
He looked good.
I'm happy for him now. They have formed like Voltron, so he can get out and get that bag. I'm not mad at that.
They both had time to dry out too. Am I lying?
No, you're not.
There we go.
You're not.
Yeah, I've heard some stories of when they came through here on tour and made some visits. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's different.
The union was dope though. I ain't gonna lie.
No, it was
dope.
the best thing that not Kendrick. The best thing that Drake and Wayne can do at this point. Wayne needs to go ahead and get with the Hot Boys and drop a Hot Boys album, and just forget about all this Kendrick talk. And Drake needs to drop an R&B album.
No,
he does not need to rap.
He
said no.
He need to go drop whatever Post Malone dropping on right now. He needs to go.
He said he need to drop a country.
He needs to go to wherever the Clarence Thomas section of society is. I don't want him hanging around nothing. I don't want him hanging around nothing I like culturally.
He'd get Candace Owens to do his interlude.
There you go.
Yo, do I need a Hot Boys album now though? As a grown man now, I need that?
You think you do, but you don't.
I can listen to it, but do I need a Hot Boys album right now?
The Ice Cube album.
I didn't get it. I'm like Terry because
it came out too close to Kendrick.
I was probably about 5 tracks in. I actually heard some production I like, but I stopped, bro. I went right.
Been taking the wind out of folks' sales all year.
I listened to the song with Killer Mike and Busta Rhymes. I like that.
Do you think that has more to do with Kendrick, or does it have more to do with where Ice Cube is at this point in his career, or where he is, where your ear is now?
It's to Lone's point, it's probably a little bit of both, because Ice Cube was one of those people that just off us growing up through that era, I'm gonna pay him respect regardless of what he dropped. I'm gonna at least run it. What I always say, I'm gonna run it. I'm gonna listen to it. So that part of it, I'm going to listen regardless when the OGs drop. Snoop and Drake come out. If it's trash, then we gonna have to talk about that. But I'm gonna listen. But man, when that Kendrick dropped, man, it just
sucked the air out of it.
All of my attention went that way. I'll be honest. I just literally stopped and went right over to it and tried to find it. It's just
Here come Omar.
Here come Omar.
Did Cube sound dangerous on this one?
No, to me, the songs I listened to, it sounded kind of like a dated flow. I ain't gonna say it was trash and no stuff like that, but Kendrick released it at the exact same time.
Because Ice Cube always sounds dangerous to me. Like my favorite Ice Cube, you sound like the most America's most wanted. You know?
Yeah, because he was politically strong back then.
His voice always just resonated.
Yeah,
he's still potent in terms of the subject matter of what he's talking about. But we've heard so much, and there have been so many variations of rap styles and flows since probably the last time he dropped. So Cube is gonna get right in the pocket for Cube and just do Cube. Yes, that's gonna sound a little bit outdated from a flow standpoint, but I like some of the production I heard, and he's still potent with what he's talking about.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back.
The potency is still there, but I just couldn't get through it, man.
Once again, he can rap with Killer Mike, and it doesn't sound like, why is this dude rapping with Killer Mike?
That part.
So yeah, it's just like I said, I just have to get to it, and because sometimes, like we've talked about this before, especially somebody like I have to listen to so much music that I don't like to listen to, you know, in my line of work. And sometimes I'd rather listen to people talk about rap music than actually listen to rap music when I'm driving home.
That's how I feel about Star Wars these days.
Really?
I like watching people talk about Star Wars more than when I sit down and watch like 8-10 hours of Star Wars content.
Like I heard people talk all about the Acolyte. I didn't watch one episode.
I haven't either.
The way they talked about it told me I
told me I didn't want to watch it.
I saw enough already.
Yep.
It was okay.
The power of many. You have to watch it to know that sounds funny.
Bro, we gotta get you we gotta bring you home on Lord of the Rings, man. I know it's 4 hours,
no, that's good.
but we got to bring you home. You missing out on some good.
It's not 4 hours.
It might be.
Huh?
Yeah, calm down.
14 hours.
It's like 4 hours for one.
Right.
Bro, I'm just telling you, man, like one day, just stay up.
Honestly,
just hang in there.
We're in the same
You
place.
really gonna watch it?
I saw the 3 in the theater. And that
You ain't like, no.
I liked enough to know to stay away from it. I've seen enough, guys.
I'll keep
Come
it real.
on.
I've seen enough Lord of the
I haven't
Rings.
seen any of them.
Come on, man.
Dude, man, just
You missing out on some heat, bro. I'm telling you.
Mike is excited because he's actually a part of something now.
What you mean?
He's actually seen
Yeah,
it.
because you came on in.
So here's the joke, right? Here's the running joke.
Well, it's not a joke. It's the truth.
Don't do that. I'm grown, right? I'm grown. I hadn't watched The Wire, man. I let a lot of black people down. Oh, you would say yeah? I let a lot of black people down. But
We had to shame him.
yeah, they shamed me for multiple
years.
They shamed me into watching it
I was
in
like, you don't even
succession.
get
show
why
next to your television.
I had to binge watch it, and bro, that show is phenomenal.
Word on.
I know the characters. Now I got to go back and listen to Sky Zoo.
Yeah, all the Sky
with all the
Zoo
bars.
and-
and-
Freeway, all of it makes
references make sense.
So I can admit I was out here bad. I hadn't watched
You're
it.
bad, yeah.
You're disappointed.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah, I
you
know.
caught up, so
I
you're
did.
fine with me.
Had I not
We're on
watched
the
it
right
now,
timeline, so we good.
had I not watched it now, you would be disappointed.
I mean, there would be a lot we couldn't talk about.
No, The Wire's fired though. They were on my head. They made me watch it because they were like, "There's no way you can be on this show and not watch
Well,
The Wire."
my thing was like, how are you as big of a Sky Zoo fan
love Sky Zoo.
as you are? But you don't catch like
missed
so
all the
many of
Wire
his bars.
bars.
Like,
He had a whole album devoted
Come on,
to
man.
The Wire,
Yeah.
and you didn't know what it meant.
I had to go back and I did my on that and Game of Thrones.
yeah.
I was asleep. Went back and watched that. I'm home now, brother.
Yeah.
I'm home. Yeah,
See,
I'm home.
I've seen Lord of the Rings, and I am knowledgeable and have an understanding on why I'm
Yeah.
continuing to pass
Yeah.
on any
Yeah.
brand new Lord of the Rings.
I can respect it.
You know,
Yeah,
that's a little different.
I saw all 3 of them. I was like, they still do more trees walk through more elephants.
Yeah.
You can't tell me like the third one that comes the climactic battle or whatever.
Come
in the
on,
third
man.
one. Trees and elephants and trees and elephants and trees and elephants. It was like, this is crazy.
I think it's great. I love
enjoyed
talking
it.
trees.
I enjoyed it, man.
That
The
was
elephants
crazy.
and
Shouts to the Ents, man.
for sure, man. But no, I'm home. I'm home on everything. I'm caught up.
Okay.
I'm
That's
where I'm
good.
supposed to be.
Season 4 is
Yeah.
the best season.
You know what?
Of The Wire?
Yeah, season 4.
That
Interesting.
was the...
That's coming
That's
off.
Marlo, right?
Yeah, that's what Marlo shows
That's coming
up.
off the
That's
docs,
the middle
right?
school students.
No, Docs was second. Then,
Okay, the docs was second.
Yeah. Third is the fall of the Barksdales.
yep.
And
Fourth
then
is
they get into the middle school.
schools, Yeah.
Yep, you're right.
That's a good one. I mean, they're all. I like them.
I'm
all.
not mad at
Middle
that.
school because they get to that hit my heart in a different way once you get to the middle schoolers because they carry us out over the 4th and 5th seasons
Yeah.
and just like where they all start to where they all
Yeah.
end. Oh
Yeah.
man, that broke my heart, man.
Yeah, I've seen kids like that in real life.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was, I feel you.
That one kid.
Shout out to Rock, man.
Did everybody shout to Rock?
Yes, shout out to Rock.
Andre Thompson is the evil drug dealer.
Yeah, 100%. That's Marlo.
Right.
Real talk. Yeah.
But did everybody finally finish the Penguin?
I
Oh
did.
yeah, he finished it. Yeah,
What you think about the Penguin, bro?
I thought it was actually dope. All things
I did too.
considered, I'll say that because like one. So we're watching this, and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Dang, man, we kind of the Penguin, you know? The Penguin kind of
Yeah.
dope."
Yeah.
Then you get to the last episode, you're like, "Okay, good, okay, this is the Penguin I know."
That was savage.
But I understand exactly why he did it.
Yeah.
Because at the end, you saw all the young guns from those crews. They went in and killed the OG so they could go and start their own thing. And then he's like, this kid might wind up having too much ambition. I got to get rid of him right now.
Yeah.
It broke your heart
And
because I
also-
saw it coming. I was like, no, you should have went to LA with that
Vic
girl.
was riding for
And
him
also, I
too,
don't think he
man.
wanted to, have like emotional ties.
That family.
The
Yeah,
family
I think that
ties,
too,
family
yeah.
ties.
That's what everybody says, but I'm like, he saw how like every other crew, the
Yeah.
OG in that crew had to go.
Yeah.
Imagine if Vic would have got on that bus, man, just went with Shorty and
Hey,
just.
Vic.
Yeah.
You owned it.
Yeah, he owned it. He owned it.
I was like, why? Somebody, if you fighting a penguin, just kick him in the leg.
I'll say this too. I feel like
That walk is
Step
crazy.
on his foot. Step on that penguin toe.
Yeah.
I feel like Colin Farrell is slowly become one of my favorite actors. I've been a fan of his for a very long time. Like I
Yeah.
really love what he did in Bruges and stuff. Like he's just very diverse, but he's got a lot of range. But I didn't even realize that this was Colin Farrell until after the entire show was over, and I was like, really? I was like, wow.
Yeah,
I was like,
because the Penguin was in the Batman. It was Colin Farrell.
I didn't know.
I know people who watched this whole series and never saw the Batman.
I mean, you don't really
have to.
You know?
I don't think I've seen it. I think that's part of it. So
I mean, the worst part though is what he did to his mom at the end. That's when
Bro.
crazy.
yeah.
Nah, he's a creep because I mean
He's definitely a creep.
Yeah, Oedipus complex
his girlfriend, he dressed her up as his mama and
Right.
or whatever you want to call
Right.
her.
Yeah.
And it's like,
You got Oedipus complex.
yeah, that's just weird. Yeah.
He played his brothers too.
HBO be having shows like that though, man.
HBO has the
some
best
Oedipus
series.
complex.
They got the
Man.
best
They,
series.
they always got something a little incestuous going on.
Weird. Super.
Boardwalk Empire.
I don't like it.
No.
Boardwalk Empire was fire. Shout out to Nucky.
Hold on, you saw
that was fire.
You saw Boardwalk Empire before you saw The Wire?
That's wild.
Why are we doing it?
No, I'm just saying.
Why
like
we
you
going back
clearly
to-
had access to the programming.
It's not about. Listen, man. I told you I was home.
Okay,
he's
no,
accepted.
I'm just
He's accepted.
Like,
he's
because
accepted.
honestly, I'm thinking if you didn't see The Wire, why would I
Come
talk
on,
to you
man.
about Boardwalk
This
Empire?
is fam. This is triggering. He's accepted.
Probably
Our
seen-
guest is
You
accepted.
probably seen Deadwood and everything else that came
Come
on.
on, man. Come on, man. I saw The Wire, man.
What
Like
about
everything.
Westworld?
No, I don't know.
You
what
know
that
he ain't
is.
seen Westworld.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah,
now.
see,
There's only one.
I
There's
didn't
only
see
one.
Westworld.
There's only one good season.
it be
Westworld.
your own people. It be your own people.
You ever thought that OVO is working for me?
Oh, we had some moles that actually gave you the information, but now the information is
Yeah.
it doesn't.
Yeah.
Anytime I hear somebody say, "Yeah, we DJ Akademiks," red flag right there.
No, it's just the part. One of the things in that we talked about is, wait a minute. Okay, so somebody was going to give $5,000 for some and some points, and I was like, you know, $5,000 even in this day and age in the record industry is not a lot to give
How
somebody.
far is that gonna go?
That's not. You can barely get a radio spin in the 40th market to take it for $5,000.
And then if it was the machine, there would have had to have been a gag order connected
And
to that.
nobody's giving up points to some marketing guy.
Come on, man.
They don't give points to the artist hardly.
I think Akademiks didn't believe that. Even Akademiks like, wait,
When he's like, no, that sounds like some bull.
right.
You know it's bad when a dude like that is like, man, I don't
I
know.
said they're gonna give me a piece of the song if I get these numbers.
Unnamed
What?
source, man, get out of
People
here.
who make the song who don't get points on the song. Okay.
Come on, man.
wild.
Come on,
crazy.
man. Anytime he's referenced in anything, I take it with a big ass grain of salt, bro. Like, hey, come on.
Honestly, when it comes to that, I hope that this does go to court and he gets thrashed. And then
Thrashed?
Yes, and I want to see what happens or what the Glazers have to say after that.
Well, I hope it goes to court, and I hope that the record label industrial complex mixed with Spotify gets completely taken down and destroyed and set on fire.
Who's going to distribute the music after that? Because, I mean, we kind of all agreed on if it was coming from an artist point of view, then yeah, it would make sense. But this is not his angle.
No
so
artist-
if this
no-
happens,
Okay.
if it happens like that, then how are they going to distribute this music?
They'll still put it out there, but
we don't need major labels. Artists
we do need
I'm
DSPs.
I'm speaking from. Do we? I'm speaking from an artist who's literally removed my music from certain DSPs. So yes, from the.
What do you mean by
masses.
certain DSPs?
I took my music off Spotify.
It's on Apple Music.
Yeah, it's on everything else except yeah. But
So what do you have against Spotify?
Man, it's been 6 months. And
isn't it the way that like they shift the money?
yes, that's what it is.
Yeah, it was the
So
way
it's
they
the
were-
shifting of the money, and maybe I need to go back and kind of re-look at to see what the other DSPs are doing as well, because Apple Music may do it as well. But I took it out specifically because of how they were distributing the money, and it was the $1,000 or 1,000 play threshold. And so, like, I have over 400 tracks on DSPs. So if I have 400 tracks and I go back and I did the math and I look at all the music that I'm putting out, mostly instrumentals and stuff, I didn't have one record that had eclipsed that. But between all of them, I had well eclipsed that was going to generate a little bit of money. And so when I look at that, I'm thinking, okay, so they want to take all of these streams and funnel that together and put that into a pot for somebody else. I just personally had a problem with it, and I just couldn't. I don't know what the other platforms do in that regard, but when Spotify became public and they said, this is what we are going to do, I said, okay, thank you for telling me who you are. I will just remove myself from that situation.
Right.
That part.
Well, the only thing I think positive that could come from this is it's sort of like the same thing would happen with Alan Freed, I want to say in the 1950s, maybe 60s, to where it was like, okay, you can no longer just show up with a bag of money.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, your song is going to go to the top of our charts. Because I think that's what happens now. The technology has outpaced the laws to the point where you might just be able to write a check and get your song on Rap Caviar or one of these specialized lists that people have more eyes on. And you can't do that for radio. You're not supposed to be able to do that for radio. There are ways to do it.
There's laws there, right?
Yeah, but as far as like, because I think like Jay-Z, when he was first trying to get this done, like he just ran to Kevin Liles with a bag of money and said, hey, we need this record to do well. And he was like, we don't do that here. But now, of course, there are other ways around it. You do a flyaway, you do a special contest. There are ways that record companies do funnel money to radio stations, and honestly, it's not
also influencers as well.
Yeah, but it's not individual radio stations anymore because there's only like 5 or 6 actual companies that own every radio station in the country. So it's much more consolidated. Everything's on credit cards, and so you can kind of move in a different way as opposed to just running up and giving a jock cash. Which is when I was in radio and I talked to the guys who worked in the 70s and 80s. They're like, yeah, that's what they used to do. They used to come by and pay light bills and pay car notes, and there was no sound scan. So you just wrote down, yeah, we played, this particular song 15 times, and you submit it, and that's what the numbers were. Now I really do think with the biggest streamer, because let's just be honest, I use Tidal, but everyone else uses Spotify. Pretty much. I'm pretty sure there are people from, I won't even say the specific companies that go up to these places and like, we need this here. We need, as soon as someone opens the app, they still got to be able to hit the button. To where, just like I told you that when they tried to put that Lil Nas X song out earlier in the year, it didn't do anything because, once again, you can put the money behind it and hit the button, but the people aren't into it. There's only so much you can do.
It's true.
But, there was obviously money behind that because every time I hit, play on an automated music service that weekend, here comes this song that nobody wants to hear. So if it gets to a point where like that, everything it goes back, and that can't be done. So there's more of an organic system of how people find music through these particular services. Then I think that would be great. Do I think it's going to happen?
No,
hell no.
I just have an anarchist approach to the music industry in general. So it's just kind of what it is. But I don't really think streaming is going to go away. But I do think it would be better for the artists in general, and even like teaching like young producers and young people that are doing music or mentoring or whatever. It's like, look, don't treat the streaming service like it's the end. Like it's the end. And it's like, oh, I finished the song, I put it on streaming service. Like, no, there's 19 other things you need to do. And I think
that's actually the easiest part.
Yeah, it's just bad on so many levels. It's great for the consumer.
Yeah, because I can pay $9 a month and have every song I've ever wanted to listen to on my phone. That's great.
Right.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
That's why it's never going away.
Yeah.
That's exactly why it's never going away, because we got to realize our age too. So we came from a time where we paid $10 each for one release
during the first week.
The first week.
Right.
Yeah.
So now we're in a time frame now where everybody, most of the people that are buying music have never had to experience that.
Yeah.
So they're used to waking up on Friday morning, pressing play on every new album that comes out, and they don't have to even absorb it the same way. That's why people have to continue to put stuff out so much and so fast, is because it's like, all right, this album is cool, but I'm gonna move on to the next one. It's like I didn't spend any currency for one thing. No, we had to live with that one album that we bought. We might even act like we liked it for a couple days.
Look, I tried to like the Art of War.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go,
It
man.
just didn't happen. It just didn't happen.
I tried to like that Cannabis album.
It was trash twice because it was a double album. But yeah, they don't.
There's a
they don't
fire
go to
single
that.
album in there though.
Yeah.
There's a fire single
Yes.
album.
You think so?
Yes.
Yes.
It's definitely a fire 12.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, you're right.
Definitely
I mean,
know.
it's just been so long since I sat and even tried to go through
I
it.
was upset because that was one of the albums I actually got before it dropped on that following Tuesday. It was like an early release at a record store.
Yeah.
Like if you got there on Friday, you can get it. You pay a couple extra dollars, you get it. And so I paid that couple extra dollars
on top of the double CD price.
Yeah, and it didn't hit right for me. So
There's definitely a fire 12. I just feel like there's too much no disrespect, obviously, but that's way too much Crazy Bone. Like you could tell he's the only one that was really invested. You know,
Yeah,
like, you could tell Busy Bone was on Unsolved Mysteries or whatever he's going through.
That's true.
Yeah, that's
Wishbone, you know, whatever he was going through, Lazy, whatever. Because
Flesh was in jail.
right, Crazy.
Well, he was always in jail.
Crazy was the one. Crazy had like 5 tracks by himself.
Yeah,
On that
he had
joint.
an album that came out right before that too.
After that, he had a
After
double,
that,
and
had a
another
great
double
cover.
disc right after it. Probably the same.
Wow, he was
A lot
really
of Crazy
working.
Bone back then.
Yeah.
Everybody don't need to do a double CD, man.
Most people don't
Everything
need
is
to do a
not.
double CD.
Right.
Everything is not double CD. There's only a handful of double CD artists that can pull that off.
Yeah, we passed that moment though.
Yeah.
That was a
Yeah,
moment in time.
CDs are not things anymore.
Double albums.
Like E40, like he's 50
now, you know,
tracks.
E40, he had block brochures, like 5 of them
Right.
or something like that. And each of them had like 25 songs on them or something.
I mean, I remember
I love E40 though, man.
we were doing it. We were doing this show a few years ago. I think it was Spools was on it, but he dropped something that had like 48 songs on it.
Yeah.
It's too much.
That's a lot, man.
Always too much. Unless you're a truck driver.
Well,
Yeah.
You can run the whole album
You know
if
what I'm
you're
saying?
truck driver.
Right.
I guess that's fair.
You know what I mean?
Facts. Facts.
Music for truck drivers. There's
Yeah.
there's a demographic for you.
Yeah.
There you go.
Shout out to E40, man.
Yeah, man. So, do you think we kind of hit every corner of the Drake
Okay.
talk?
I don't know what else we can talk about with it, but
Yeah.
I mean,
It's been a fun conversation though.
I've enjoyed it.
yeah.
I met someone who just recently watched The Wire, who's not 12.
Hey, listen, man. If you bring that back up again, just be mindful.
Gotcha,
Be mindful.
gotcha. Hey,
You know what I'm
but
saying?
you
Be
here now.
mindful. I am.
All
I'm
in agreement
home.
on the wallpaper.
My man, I'm home. Yeah, just be mindful, man. That's a trigger. So just be, just be
Gotcha.
mindful.
So something I don't know if y'all wanted to touch on another topic that we already had. LL Cool J had an interview where he alluded to that he was the most important rapper of all time, essentially. Maybe he didn't phrase it in those exact same words,
Right.
but he alluded to pretty much being like the first rapper on Def Jam, obviously.
True.
First rapper to have a clothing line, being Troop, that kind of sponsored him back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to kind of get everybody's opinions on how y'all feel about him as far as him being the most important character in hip hop.
You know what? I saw that, and you know, I thought that was something we were going to say for the next show. But you know what? Let's get to it now.
Go ahead.
Since we have a guest who, have his opinion, he can make a serious case for that. As far as I'm concerned, LL is the blueprint for what it is to become a superstar in hip hop in an era that was dominated by groups. Now, of course, there were other solo rappers, but nobody to like LL. What's his name from Uptown Records, the founder,
Andre Harrell.
Andre Harrell
Harrell,
passed recently, so God bless the dead. He said, because he was in his group, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and he saw LL and said, I have to move into another facet of this business because I can't keep up with. If that's where this is going, then I can't do that. So he decided to become an executive and stop rapping. LL, he had a way to maintain, for lack of a better term, the streets. He had the ladies. And if
He was Drake before Drake.
Drake
he
should
was
thank
Drake
him.
before Drake.
Drake should thank
before
him.
Drake. And he just had a level of credibility, even on the records that people said they didn't like. I loved Walking with the Panther when it came out. I know people who just can't stand that record, and I've always talked about how LL is like my hip hop superhero, even though he blocked me on Twitter. It is what it is.
What'd you do?
I don't know. It might have,
you know.
I might have tweeted something he didn't like during that accidental tourist or accidental racist era.
Wow.
And that's the only
Isn't
thing
that
I
funny?
might
We
have.
just talked about Troop, and then now you get to accidental racist.
That's tough.
Some of y'all
That's
do your
tough.
research. Do your
It's
research.
crazy.
It's crazy.
That's tough.
But no, I've always contended that LL, and he's found a way to be that guy in so many different eras.
Yeah.
There's really no reason why he has he has two greatest hits albums.
Yeah.
And it's not like he kind of like split them up and did some no, he has a legit two, greatest hits album, 2 of them, All World 1 and 2. And there are just a lot of people who probably would not be here. Even on the West Coast, the reverence that guys like Ice Cube have for LL Cool J, on the West Coast, like he's mentioned in the movie Straight Outta Compton, and to everybody he influenced on the East. And like I said, it was a time when groups dominated. For you to be a solo rapper trying to jump out there, that was a hard sell. But LL did it, and he did it on a level that most, even when he's going up where's no diss, because we love Kool Moe Dee, but 5 years after that battle, where was he? Even
looking like Larry Holmes. Flat.
Come on, man.
Stop. I said no disrespect. I said no disrespect.
That's disrespectful.
I'm sorry.
But
That's
even LL still, even with the the Hey Lovers and the All I Have and Headsprung,
I'm cool on Headsprung.
That song
It goes up. It goes up.
It goes up, but I'm cool. But it goes up. But I'm cool.
Honestly, that album,
cool.
the definition doesn't get the respect it deserves. But
it's because he dropped the GOAT right before that, and that was terrible.
But he also dropped the GOAT. Now we all use that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that kind of goes to his point. He's done so many things in hip hop, musically and culturally, that you have to look at him as the originator of all this stuff.
What you think? What you think, bro? What you think?
I think if you look at especially if you look at the rap star becoming Hitchman, you start adding Madison Avenue into it. You start adding, you mentioned the sex symbol aspect of it, but then you also start adding into what it looks like for an artist to age gracefully. I mean, you're talking 84, 85, and then he's still putting out albums in the 2000s. Like, who else was able to transcend that amount of time? Who was able to go from
that's fair.
From 84 to 2003?
Most people weren't able to go from 84, 85 to 94, 95.
Right. I mean, I did a piece on Heavy D, really looking at his impact and influence.
Nice.
Shout out to Heavy D.
Heavy is one of my favorites of all time.
Shout out to him. I'm glad you did that. Shout out to Heavy D.
But you get to like 94 with Heavy. Was he?
That was Nothing But Love.
Right. That was probably the end, because you get to 98 and it's like the sound is totally different.
Yeah, when he tried to come back with Waterbed, like I see what you're saying.
Sound it's so far away with how sounds evolve that it's hard for them to stay relevant. LL didn't have that problem really up until probably Exit 13. I mean, arguably, I guess Exit 13 was probably not even listening to. But.
He had a record called 10 that had Love You Better.
Paradise.
You Should Know, Paradise. That record.
I think that's the one that had the Jennifer Lopez record on it.
There's about 5 or 6 on there where I'm like, he's still out here.
Like
Neptune's production, he was out there.
Exit 13 had accidental. Did that have accidental races on it?
I don't know if it was on
that was the collab.
to that
album. Exit 13 was the last one.
That's the quick limit. I just
like
checked
almost
out.
25 years, from.
But do you feel he has
an argument's the most important?
Based off what he's saying? Do you feel that's
100%? That's
okay?
Like, I think if you look at the structure, the archetype of a rapper, it's LL.
Yeah.
Right now, if you get to,
that's tough.
But then I think you start looking at like Rakim, and that's where you get the evolution of rappers starting to sound more naturalistic on the mic. Which those two things to me are huge in terms of how you look at the space these days. Right? You've got the superstar. Right? That's LL. But then you got the rapper who actually sounds like he's really flowing, more so than like, I went to the hat store, got a new hat. No disrespect to anybody from the era, but like before Rakim, everybody was like, I am really rapping on the track right now. Everybody come through, they gotta see my time. Whatever it is,
don't do that, Terry.
Yeah, we got
no disrespect, but like I look at those two. So LL did everything to me except for this naturalistic part that Rakim did, which is the most influential thing.
But even with that, like, when you think about everybody's, the whole sex symbol, do you know how many people tried that after LL and it didn't work?
True.
Yeah. Like, I remember Kwame did, shout out to Kwame.
Kwame just quit, period, and went to production.
I'm talking about on his first
Very
album,
good
The
producer.
Boy Genius. I remember he had a song called Sweet Thing. He tried to get
that
off.
was actually a good song.
Yeah. And then, like,
don't do that,
Heavy
man.
D tried to do Don't You Know off of his first record, and it was like, they were like, nah. LL got that pocket.
Yeah.
Even though, and I liked One Shot at Love off of. Once again, I like that record. I like to Walk with the Panther a lot more than most people.
But bro, when you look at, like, to everyone's point, LL from his start and his ability to somewhat stay relevant, even if the records weren't hits all the way through, he had joints sprinkled in throughout all of his records where it's like, well, damn, LL's still around. It's not like he's hanging on and...
Well, he had a cheat code.
What's that?
LL transitioned into acting.
That did help.
So
that did help.
Even after his records weren't doing so good, so even when the GOAT album came out and the heads wasn't feeling that, he still had the TV show on NBC, ABC, or whatever. Then he transitioned that into the movies.
Deepest Plus.
Yeah. You know
Come
what
on,
I'm
don't do that. That was disrespectful. Don't do that.
His hat was like a Sharks fan. He told you that a decade before.
Don't do that. You said that disrespectful.
No, he didn't. It's how it sounds.
Yes, he did. He's smiling.
That's
He's
exactly
smiling.
what he said, though.
Don't do
You
that.
guys like the new LL that dropped this year?
I thought it was,
It was cool.
I liked it.
It was cool.
I like the songs where he was being like. I love that song with Rick Ross and
That was fire.
That was fire.
It wasn't trash.
And then
it was cool.
I mean, I even liked the joint with was it Sweetie?
Yeah.
He needed,
So
he needed more love songs on there. I think.
I think that would have been a thing for him.
Jay, how you feel about the Eminem record?
I liked it a lot, actually. Like the first 9 songs, I really rock with. And then it gets spotty in the second half. It becomes a problem for me when I get to Guilty Conscious 2 and there's no Dr. Dre. That's immediately, it almost feels like a totally different concept at that point. But the first 9 songs or whatever, that's straight. Everything up till Road Rage. Everything up to Road Rage. I'm good with. That's like the stuff that I like from Eminem. And I think he's funny. And he says funny jokes.
No, it was actually decent. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't a dud.
No, it was not a dud.
It's not Relapse.
Relapse is hard though. You thought it was hard?
Whoa.
Oh no, that's the one.
Especially if you listen to it now. If you go listen to Relapse now, Sonic.
Well, I'm gonna have to go back.
It's like listen to
They had them
reproduce
ballads on it, man.
Don't do that. Don't do
He had
that,
them
Mo.
ballads on there, them hip hop rap ballads that just didn't
Relapse
work.
has it's like a telltale heart. You know what I mean? It's like an Edgar Allan Poe, Eminem.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Type of thing. Yeah.
You really like that record?
I like it. It's 3 a.m. in the morning. It's crazy. Like you go listen to it, especially for him to be sober. Like that was him getting into that bag.
I give you
sober,
that.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I applaud him for doing
the
it.
beats are
but,
crazy on that too.
And then, he did have Dr. Dre production on there. So
But nah, LL overall,
Mark Bassett.
LL was always able to make me say, yeah, he's still around, and it's not like go home. I heard too many dope records where I'm like, yeah, okay, he's still here. You got the Neptunes now.
Yeah.
He's using the updated kit.
yeah, everybody rolling up a sweatpants leg, even a jean leg.
Right.
Come on, man.
A jean leg.
Yeah, that's
It's
crazy.
gonna be thorough.
Hey man, when he did that joint,
You were a FUBU hat.
with Boyz II Men.
That
Yeah,
was amazing.
Hey,
He's
that's
a
gangster
legend
low
just
key.
based off of that.
He's gangster for doing that low
Yeah.
key. But the joint with Boyz II Men, man, that
The Stalker anthem is.
don't do that.
Oh.
Don't do that.
yeah, he wasn't the first, but
Which Boyz II
yeah,
Man?
definitely a
Which one?
stalker.
I'm talking about
Hey Lover is
Hey Lover.
a top tier
Come on, man.
stalker anthem.
Come on.
It's a classic.
It's a classic. I still play the song. I love the way they flip that sample. But he's like, I've been
Jay,
looking at my own eyes. in
Jay
the
Moore-
I
rearview.
thought about this in a minute, actually.
Jay Moore, he was staying out the way though. He was at the bus stop. He stayed out the way. He was not interfering with that relationship. He stayed out the way the
Because he
whole
drank
time.
too much and
Do you
smoked
know what
too
a
many.
stalker is?
He's not a stalker.
And smoked
He's
too many
not a
blunts.
stalker.
That's none of your business.
Bro,
LL, what
he's
he do in his
watching,
spare
but he
time.
stayed out the way. He stayed out the way the whole
like
time.
a Netflix series.
Yeah,
to
that's
me.
how Dateline NBC.
Bro, Joe is a
episode
stalker.
gets started.
LL is not a stalker. Joe is a stalker.
Why are we bringing up Joe? Like we talk about
I'm
LL.
using a comparison. I'm just giving you a comparison. Joe is a stalker.
Listen to and he's talking about how he don't even know you.
Bro, all the things a man won't do. What type of weirdo
That's a
is
hater
that?
song. That's not a stalker
But he's a
song.
stalker while he hating.
No, that's not the
No,
same.
no,
man.
that's not the
No?
same. It's not
No,
the same.
that's not the same.
Thoughts?
I thought you were talking about the character
man,
on the
you know,
Netflix.
No, man.
90s,
Thoughts?
2000s, a long time ago, you know.
There's a lot. Look, man. There's a lot of toxicity
You know,
in those
like-
records that we love.
There's all kinds of things that happened in the 80s, 90s, 2000s that are now ground zero for Me Too allegations. So,
Think about
Facts.
Was LL a stalker in Hey Lover?
I mean,
Just,
in 2024, he is.
just say, okay.
In the
Thank you.
late 90s, early 2000s,
he
no.
wasn't, right?
It was a
My
romantic.
man,
It was
my
romantic.
man.
I would
Yeah.
play that for
It
girls.
was a different era, though.
See,
Now you can't make that song.
he understands. He
You
understands.
can still make doing it. That's fine, but you can't make Ain't Love It.
He
You have to
understands.
flip it.
like I said, you can't. We really can't legislate these things through modern standards. Just because,
can't.
like somebody told me, it's like, yeah, that song he sweated. There you go, telling me no again. Why she got to tell you no more than
Right.
once?
See, now you doing too much now.
Right.
Now you doing too much.
That
You doing
song
too
was
much.
kind of a little weird back then, though. Like that one was falling into like the.
He sang that at the wedding on New Jack City.
Don't do that. Don't do
That
that.
falls into like the Freddie, Ty Mock, Bruce Leroy episode of
Oh yeah,
different world.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Like that one was right.
Where he had to jump
that
through the
was
sunroof window.
That was on the nose. There you go, telling me no again. Well, that's what Freddie was telling him.
Yeah.
Freddie was telling him no again.
The last dragon tried to strong
And
arm
then here
Freddie.
comes Bruce Leroy.
Yeah, man.
Nah, you just proved you was outside. That's crazy. You just proved you were outside. That's crazy.
Yeah, Dwayne Wayne still got beat up jumping through the window. And
Hey,
Freddie had
man,
to come
he
back.
did.
Right
He
on
didn't
time.
get beat up though.
Yes, he did.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. He threw hands with him and Ron threw hands with them.
Ron wasn't there.
Nah, Ryan didn't have nothing to do
I
with
thought
that.
Ron
That
was.
was when the racist when
You talking about the
when
racist
Dean
spray
Cain,
paint, right?
That was
Nah,
Dean
that's
Cain.
different.
That was Dean Cain.
Okay, my fault.
Actually, he wasn't. Dean Cain wasn't even acting there.
Nah, he wasn't.
This is how he gets down.
That was a precursor.
I'm tripping because there was a spray paint joint, right?
Yeah, it's a whole different episode.
Okay, I'm old.
That's totally
My
different.
fault.
But they do involve cars.
Yeah.
Thank you.
you got that part.
I stand corrected.
Right.
I got hype. I
One
thought
was
it
a
was
day,
the
one was
same
at
one.
night, and it was different seasons.
Right.
It's all good.
Whatever, man.
All right.
I mean, we're talking about somebody who's never seen The Wire until 2 years ago. So.
Don't pull my different world card, bro, just because I ain't see The Wire. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I still watch different.
Those are two
faithfully.
classic
Yeah.
episodes of Different World, though.
They are.
Yeah, thank
Classic
you.
Episodes. They taught me a lot.
One of the greatest shows ever, man.
Those are the
Back to
rules
Cosby.
back then, right? You know, that's why we can say firmly that Hey Lover is not all that weird back then, even if it's weird now.
Yeah.
So I watched,
Because he didn't do it. He didn't act upon it.
What he say? I see you at the bus stop staying every day.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Every day. Don't you have anything else to do, LL?
But he's got to ride the bus.
He was
That's
in a car.
logic.
No, she
that's
was riding.
logic.
No, LL had that. He had that CL Benz.
So he was
Bro, but
following
he
the
did-
bus?
Yeah, he was following the bus just so he,
Oh, no.
just so he
I feel
could
like R. Kelly.
just so he could watch her
No,
get on and off the bus.
Damn.
no. Don't do
You
that.
didn't call it a school bus.
R. Kelly. Oh, well.
Everything R. Kelly
Yeah,
did.
but this is a public transportation
R.
bus, bro.
Kelly
This is
showed
not a
up
school bus.
talking about questioning ages. He showed up out the gate.
Loan is not a school bus. This is a public transportation.
He got off of Big Break with Natalie Cole and just immediately started
Yeah.
questioning ages.
I remember.
I got my deal now, guys.
Yeah.
So what is age?
Y'all know the vibes. Yeah. I was gonna say y'all know the vibes, but that's a bad joke.
Man.
Listen, man.
Look, and they took all R. Kelly's videos off of YouTube, and honestly,
His music is still on that streaming platform.
yeah, I mean, but basically all his videos were clues. We just weren't paying it. That's how good the music was. We
That's
weren't paying
crazy.
attention.
They
This
took
is
all
all
his
clues.
videos off YouTube, really?
Unless he's featured on something.
Yeah, unless
like
he's
if you go
featured.
like try to look up R. Kelly, someone else might have ripped him and put him up there, but like his official videos have been taken off.
What's the joint he did with
Can't listen to Gotham City for the Ghetto anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what's the joint he did
That
with Marcus Houston and
Like anything he produced is still up there,
Joe Budden? What's that called?
up in the club.
Up in the club.
Yeah.
Can
That's
you
your
find
favorite
that?
joint?
Yeah, like
no,
I
it's
said,
not. Don't do that.
R.
No, it's
Kelly
not.
as the art, like anything he's featured on and he produced is still available. But like you can't find "I Believe I Can Fly." Someone else might have posted it, but it's not on R. Kelly's page.
And that's such a healthy song, too.
That's one of
That
the.
is
We had a
healthy.
conversation about
That is
which
healthy.
R. Kelly songs. You know, now that he's paying his debt to society, that we might be able to bring back. And we just said, look,
Step in the Name of Love still go.
if it's not where you can associate it directly with crime,
Yeah. There's no crime in Step in the Name of Love.
the
None.
entire 12 play album, nah.
You can't play that.
Yeah.
What about CP2000?
Kelly said,
You can do
Nah, that follows
CP2000.
right up with
CP2000?
Nah, you can't
Ignition
play it.
remix?
He's shaking his head.
It's
He's
the
shaking her head
remix
so
to
hard.
Ignition. Hot
Like
and
anything
fresh
that like
Ignition.
kind of suggests you just have to just assume.
Bro,
that
Step in the Name of Love has no crime at all. That's a just
Wow.
we haven't. Come on, bro.
Who's he stepping with?
that's what I mean.
How
You have to
old-
assume.
What's the
You
age
have to
in the
assume.
club they stepping
No,
in?
whoever he's stepping with got like linen on. Like it's grown folks. Like that's a grown folks song.
You just can't assume.
I don't know.
I'm going off what I know,
don't
man.
know.
Like he made that mug for like grown
We don't
folks.
know. We don't know the age of the.
Terry?
He might have made it. That he might have made that to actually replace. You know how they made us do the do-si do and all that stuff in junior high school. He might have made Step.
I don't like
Step in the Name
where
of
this is going.
as a song you're supposed
So
to do in
instead
gym
of-
class.
He took it there.
I don't like what this is going.
I'm still mad at R. Kelly for
scared of
forcing the
everything.
generation to look at CP, Child P.
Wow.
He forced the whole generation to do that.
That is very
That's
true.
pretty messed up.
Yep.
Yeah,
He made all them people who saw that.
Yeah.
he right.
And people were buying them from the bootleg
Right.
man on the corner.
That's messed up.
He right. He's right.
That's his fault. With
Yeah.
his BET award.
Yeah, right there in the background.
Right there.
He's right.
Wow. I don't know how he got off on that one.
That's great.
Because, look, this was my theory of how he got away with this for so long. Is like, just like in the mob, if you believe there is a mafia, as long as you're a good earner, you'll always be protected.
Which brings us full circle, because what is Drake doing?
Right.
He's an earner.
He is up here questioning.
He's an earner.
Question?
He's an earner. Now he's questioning Universal. Talking about snitching.
Yeah. So
Something's
What
not
happens to
adding up.
people in the mafia for snitching?
Oh god,
Man.
they get Diageo'd.
I mean, we talked about it last week. What, talked about Prince and Michael Jackson last week.
yeah.
I mean,
Oh, well,
Right,
yeah, I
you know.
remember that.
They wasn't snitching though. They was more so trying
no,
to
but
take
they went.
things
But
in
they,
their own hands.
exactly. I think that's what it's more
yeah.
about. Now, granted, it's a super conspiracy theory. but-
Whatever Drake get.
I think they were trying to send this message. How did Prince die in an elevator?
Yeah. They had
How's
something
going
alluding to a song lyric. It's crazy.
Hey,
I don't know.
whatever Drake get. We talked about the penguin. Whatever Drake get.
He better look under his car every time.
He owned it. He owned it. Whatever he get, he owned it. Facts.
All right, conspiracy hour is over.
Yeah, for sure.
I enjoyed it, y'all.
Well, we appreciate you coming.
Nah, for real, man. All
definitely.
right, newoldheads.com for all the education you need this year. If you see it, like it, subscribe, and also give us a 5-star review, because at this point, if you're not doing that, you hating. And also check out our Patreon options. We have a lot of great stuff, exclusive content that we are working to upload. So we appreciate the support as always, and we'll see y'all next week.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
In a minute.